One fine day, one of my uncles noticed me, saying that you're not in your best. So he asked me, what's wrong? I told him I was thrown out of the class. And, almost in tears, I was like, this is something that I cannot take. I wasn't too good in science and maths, to the extent that in 9th standard, I flunked in maths. That was the day when I saw my mom crying. And like any other honest sibling, okay, my younger sister poked me, okay, and made me realize that my mom was crying because of me.
Hi, this is Mohan Nair. I am a healthcare specialist for the last 40 years. Worked in Fortune 500 companies like Novartis, Johnson & Johnson, and currently the director for Merrill Trauma and Spine. Today is a very special day. Special day because we are talking about a topic which is a very important topic in everybody's life. But before we get into the topic, I have the honor of inviting the founder of Quantum Group, Mr. Pratik Surana. I formally welcome Mr. Pratik Surana ji.
Thank you
for this brief talk on emotional quotient and emotional intelligence. It was 1 year back that I met Pratik, and we had a very interesting discussion on emotional quotient and emotional intelligence.
Right.
And since being in healthcare, I realized that that is one of the most important attributes in that industry. So that gravitated me to Pratik. But today what I'm going to do is, I'm remembered of a joke where they say the definition of a dentist is who asks you to open your mouth and never allow you to speak. So Pratik did that with me in a podcast 1 year back. Okay, he made me talk about everything about emotional intelligence, and he did it well. So today it is my turn that I keep quiet and I make him speak.
Okay.
So the brain behind this entire emotional intelligence, I would say mission is Pratik. And Pratik, I would like to, ask you a few questions which will enlighten us. Why you got into it, how you got into it. What's your roadmap for emotional quotient and emotional intelligence in the world? Before we start all that, I would like to know more about yourself, how
Sure.
about your childhood and, about your journey towards this project.
Sure. So Mohan, on a lighter note, it is one of the sweetest revenges of the podcast,
Yeah.
where you put me in a chair and make me feel how it feels better. Ab dekh lena types. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me on my own podcast, Emotionally Yours with Pratik. And let me begin. Let me answer your question. By the way, I am a small towner, shifted to Pune for almost 25, 26 years now. I come from a remote town in Marathwada region called Hingoli.
Okay.
And I was born there, brought up there. All my schooling, everything happened there. I was not a very bright student in the conventional norms in the academics, but I was amongst the top 10 or top 15. I was pretty good in various other areas like public speaking, okay, which my father encouraged me. Sports, which my mother encouraged me. I played cricket till the divisional level. I played Jasdanwala Trophy under 16 in cricket. So one art and one sport was a compulsion for all of us.
Very good.
Okay, irrespective of boy or girl, every child in the house will take up one sport and one art. So the sport that I took up was cricket and later on tennis. And the art that I picked up was playing tabla.
Wow.
So these are two elements, and being a small towner, not a great exposure that you get, but I was fortunate enough that we were pretty comfortable. Okay, my mom is from Hyderabad, so used to see the bigger cities, etc. And I always used to wonder what's the difference, why we small towners are not at par in terms of being treated otherwise. And I realized that we do not lack the talent. What we lack is the right direction. and the necessary creative confidence.
Yeah.
So fortunately, my parents were pretty much aware of it. They gave all the possible freedom. My only sibling, my sister, she picked up classical singing, and she is an author. Okay, my father was a photographer, a hockey player,
Okay.
and my mom was a national level athlete and a Kathak dancer. So all these areas, the other areas than academics, always enrich you. And I found that during school days, etc., finding your calling is one of the most important aspects. And my calling was literature, history, geography, the social sciences project, and I wasn't too good in science and maths, to the extent that in ninth standard I flunked in maths. That was the day when I saw my mom crying. And like any other honest sibling, okay, my younger sister poked me, okay, and made me realize that my mom was crying because of me. And with that guilt, I somehow felt very uncomfortable that night.
Okay.
That was the moment that I realized that, hunger and humiliation are the two best gurus of your life.
So true.
And I realized that, this is something that I need to take in hands. And then I went back to my mom, my dad. I said that put me to some extra classes or tuitions, and I'll ensure that whatever I have lost, I would try to recover. So ninth, then there were two sections of maths, algebra and geometry, 75 marks each. So in ninth, I had scored 32 out of 150. And fast forward from there, in 10th, I scored 132 out of 150.
Wow. It's a humongous turnaround. Yeah.
Right. And I would always say that it is that emotion that drives you.
So true.
That I did not realize it when I was that young. Secondly, I was also sent to pre-military training.
Okay.
So my parents realized that discipline, consistency, and most importantly, channelizing your energies, thoughts, etc., whether in writing, whether in public speaking, etc., all those areas were a must. In 1989, I went for a trek to Himalayan ranges, and that was my first exposure to trekking, and it became my love. And till date, I go on for one trek a year in Himalayan ranges.
Fantastic.
Okay, there was a gap of 21 years though, and afterwards because of various work compulsions, I couldn't really find much time to do it, etc. Another childhood memory that I would like to talk about is, in a small town or a village, you don't have a swimming pool, you have a well,
Yes.
or you have a river, all right. So I was maybe in 5th standard, and I was pretty scared of jumping into the well,
Jumping into water. Yeah.
right? Somehow my mom came in and she pushed me right into the well. Okay, and I was really shocked because all the water went into my mouth, my nose, and it was pretty uncomfortable. And then she shouted at the top of her lungs, okay, and told all the friends who were swimming in that well, saying that unless he learns today, he is not coming out, and you guys are going to ensure that. So sometimes you have to be taken out of that comfort zone
True.
and given a shock treatment. Flunking in maths or fearing the waters was one of these. Pre-military training was one of the most enriching experiences, where I had to raise money on myself, and I started cleaning the seniors' rooms in the hostels for a small sum of 5 rupees, 7 rupees, which was a big sum then, only because the person with whom my dad trusted with the money was refusing to give me money.
Oh.
So I had to earn, because you couldn't starve.
True.
And it's always said that hunger teaches you more than anything else, and humiliation teaches you more than what other life skills would teach you.
So I'm reminded of a very good quote. The stroke of a hammer forges steel,
Yes,
but breaks glass.
absolutely.
So you are made of steel, and all those forging of steel happened because of all those challenges which are thrust on you. So as a stream, did you stick to particular stream or move from one to the other? You are in engineering, medicine. What did you pick up later on?
So, if the truth be told, Mohan, I am an engineering dropout.
Oh, okay.
In 1991, it was a blasphemous statement to make that you are dropping out of engineering. All right. After 10th, I scored, decent marks in maths. And during those days, there were only two careers. Either you go for medicine or you go for engineering.
Right.
And the third one was upcoming, which was chartered accountant. So, I wasn't good in my biology. Okay, the only good figure in biology I could draw was amoeba. Nothing else.
Shapeless, yeah.
That's shapeless. So, and drawing I was terrible at. So I gave up biology and I went for electronics. And in 11th, 12th there was something called as electronics as an optional subject. Instead of bio, you can really opt for it. I went in. I studied well. I scored 96 in maths in 12th. Okay, and I went for engineering. My engineering government seat in Aurangabad, which is now Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar.
Yeah.
And that was the divisional headquarter. I went there and I enrolled myself there. There was a subject called engineering drawing, which was a big scare for me.
Okay.
Okay, and I was always thrown out of the classroom.
Their amoeba drawing will not work.
Amoeba drawings will not work. Absolutely, none of it worked. And loudly I used to sing a song called Tasveer Banata Hoon, Tasveer Nahi Banti. And then I realized that there's something that was missing and I wasn't really carved out for engineering.
Engineering, yeah.
And during one of the practicals, we used to have a subject called applied sciences. Okay, there was one boy who was standing next to me, and we were given some practical of measuring thickness of a wire or something of that kind. I could complete it in maybe 8-10 minutes or 15 minutes. This boy, he was just puzzled and he was looking everywhere. I said, why? What happened to you? He says, I don't know how to measure the thickness. I said, there's a screw gauge, right? Pick it up and measure it. He said, what do you do with it? I said, seriously? I said, first take a list count and then do it. He says, what is list count? I said, from where did you come? He said, Latur. And those days there was Latur pattern which was very famous.
Absolutely.
Right? I said, we learnt it in 8th standard. Right?
True.
Do you realize? And then I lost the entire faith in the system, saying that if somebody who scored 96 and 98 marks and is going to do engineering like this, we all know what products we are going to face. I lost my interest, and of course, my interest was basically for language, literature. Even in 12th, when I scored pretty high in maths, the second highest score was in English language.
Wow.
So I was like, I would like to pursue something. I spoke to my dad, my mom. They supported the decision then. Okay. And I was the talk of the town, saying that he's dropped out of engineering and that too a government seat.
Wow.
And I went on to enroll myself for Bachelor's of Arts. I pursued my favorite subjects. From another university, I did BCom because the certain subjects like economics and accounts, etc. I was helping my father also in the lands business then.
Okay.
And then I thought that it is important to have an exposure to it. While I was in second year of graduation, something interesting happened. There was a computer education company which was looking for franchise in Hingoli.
Okay.
And because of my short stint in engineering, I got some hang of computers. During those days, there were no laptops. Excuse me. PC was the only computer. And then I told 4 of we friends were discussing, let's do a venture, etc. And we were not serious about it. Okay, we made an application And surprisingly, the company found us pretty energetic, youthful for that kind of a venture. So while second year of engineering, second year of my graduation, after quitting engineering, I started with my first venture in partnership with three other friends. And that was my exposure to the entrepreneurial journey, to business. The center ran well. Post that, I pursued my MBA from NMIMS, Mumbai. And post that, started for a very short stint, worked in advertising. Okay. And there's a funny story how I got selected there. What happened was, we used to have branding as a subject
Okay.
in MBA days. And in branding, uh, there was this professor who was a very good ad guru in India.
Okay.
He was a guest faculty, and he asked a question saying that, can you tell me an ad which is humorous and which really hits you?
Okay.
Do you know which ad is that? Okay. Somehow I was getting bored and the lecture was pretty boring. So I just rose from my seat and I shouted, "Arey ye PSPO nahi janta." That was an ad that was made by that ad man. I didn't know then.
Oh, okay.
And everybody started laughing. Okay, because of the manner in which I gave that answer. And then the professor said, "Meet me after the class." I said, I was shit scared. I said, I'm gone. And to my surprise, when I walked in to his cabin, he offered me an internship.
Wow.
Saying that I loved the innovative way in which that answer was given. Okay. From there, again, fast forward, things went up. Almost for a year and a half, I worked with him. And then he moved to theaters from advertising. Like any other honest guy, you would go, you would follow the boss's footsteps.
Yeah.
I did that only to realize that, theaters was not my cup of tea. And after 3 months, I met somebody who wanted to sell off his computer training center in Pune.
Oh.
That made me come down to Pune in 1999.
So that's your beginning of an entrepreneurial route.
Entrepreneurial roots, yes. Okay. I would simply say that it all started when I was helping my father from second year of grad.
Real estate business.
The real estate business.
Okay.
Onwards till this.
So your, emotional, challenge when you flunked in ninth standard and then your mother pushing into the well. Similarly, in your teenage age, you had some emotional trigger which you would like to highlight here.
Yes, there are two triggers, I must say that. While in NMIMS, okay, I scored pretty well in the first semester.
Okay.
In the second semester, there was this subject called business communication.
Okay.
And I was thrown out of the classroom for not speaking good English.
Oh.
And that kind of humiliated me a little. I was like, how can I be thrown out? I stood second in the college. And everybody was laughing at me because all other kids were from renowned schools, colleges. And here I was from a small town, from a Marathi medium school. And that was a big shock. So, a rude shock. I started avoiding going to the classrooms, etc. One fine day, one of my uncles noticed me, saying that you're not in your best. So he asked me, what's wrong? I told him I was thrown out of the class. And, almost in tears, I was like, this is something that I cannot take. He said, okay. And those days, there were no English-speaking courses, etc., what you have now. So he said, it's a simple technique. Watch English news, read English newspaper, and decode 5 best news that you would read in your language and explain them to me.
Fantastic.
And after doing that for 2-3 months, I started going back to the college, but still was not allowed in business communication sessions. So one fine day I saw that NMIMS had then a computer lab called Asian Paints Computer Lab. They donated some computers there.
Right.
So they were looking for lab faculties. Because of my previous experience in computer education in Hingoli, I applied over there. They selected me. And while I was going for the interview, the same person who kicked me out of business communication class was the interviewer over there.
That was
Another
like a
fear.
sweet revenge sort of.
Another fear. And then he saw my presentation, the way I did. He said, okay, come to the class tomorrow. Next day, I went to the class. He made me stand in front of the entire class and said, this is the guy whom I had thrown out of the classroom. Now he's the one who's going to assist me in all my lectures.
Fantastic. That's real big turnaround.
These
Yeah.
teenage, difficult, emotional moments
Okay.
have really given me a lot of these things.
So take me through your journey in your, entrepreneurial streak, and how did you found this quantum group of companies, the info trainers,
Right.
and the foundation? And take us through your entire journey
Sure.
of, entrepreneurship.
So, in 1999, I came to Pune and started off with Computer Training Center. Okay, I was yet to get married then. In 2000, I got married. And in 2001, okay, when the dot-com bubble bursted and September 11 happened, a lot of companies in India were serving pink slips, people were laid off, companies were closing down. There was a complete IT meltdown structure. And at that point of time, the company whom I was representing decided to fold up,
Okay.
wind up their operations. And at that point of time, we had only two choices. Okay, there were more than 185 students who were with us. Either we refund their fees, or then we shift them to another training center of the company, which was in Mumbai, which was logistically not possible because we were in Pune. So, I was just struggling and I was about to close down everything.
Okay.
That's when my wife Anshima, she came up with an idea saying that all through we have worked for some other brand. Why not we establish our own brand?
Okay.
So if some credit has to be given for Quantum and the foundation of Quantum, okay, it is thanks to her.
Yeah. So today morning I read a very interesting, WhatsApp joke that women have a better business sense. A man buys a car for 4 lakh rupees, it becomes 1 lakh because of Nirmala Sitaram. And the wife buys gold of 4 lakhs, now that is 16 lakhs now.
Absolutely.
So always,
said it.
respect her business sense.
Yes. So that's when it all started. Okay. And we again held a meeting of all the parents, said that we are starting our own brand. So the certificate will come from our own brand instead of the earlier one. So if you are okay, you can stay back. Okay. Out of 185, 180 agreed to it.
Fantastic.
And that was one of the most challenging moments because we were expecting our first child then.
Oh.
And we were deep in debts. Again, there was every morning we used to face creditors. Again, you had to face the students.
Tough times.
Tough times. And all through she was the one who supported, who guided, despite of all other areas. And then it all started. And then what happened was our first batch of students got placed in a computer technology company. Then it was a pretty big name called Satyam.
Satyam, yeah.
Yeah. And their project manager saw that these kids were exceptionally good. So he asked them that, where did you learn all this? And they referred my name.
Okay.
So the project manager called us saying that, can you help us skill up our own workforce? That was the beginning of corporate trainings for us.
Okay.
And one thing led to the other. Then onwards, in 2008-9, we kind of collaborated with a UK-based company,
Wow.
went on, did business in UK, okay, where online learning and development academies is
Okay.
where we came up from. And I picked up pretty well in UK. Unfortunately, it didn't pick up in India.
Okay.
And in 2011 onwards, I started visiting Singapore, okay, and we formed our another company in Singapore called Quantum Trainings Private Limited.
Oh.
So today, Quantum Group has 3 entities.
Okay.
Quantum Info Trainers and Consultants Private Limited, which originated 23 years back.
Okay.
Another company in Singapore, okay, which now is 11-year-old. 2014 we incorporated, called Quantum Trainings Private Limited,
Okay.
through which we do business in Southeast Asia.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a foundation which is engaged in, I wouldn't call it as social work, but some kind of responsibility that we carry out. Okay, the 2 projects that it runs, okay, Quantum Foundation runs Mission 1 Million, which is
Wow.
1 million emotionally literate Indians by 2035.
Wow, that's
And
a
we are
great-
halfway through. More than 500,000 we have already reached through various sessions and organizing podcasts like this, or through awareness sessions, so on and so forth. And another one is called Project Dharohar, which is for history, related to history, preserving our legacy, ensuring that the new generation takes keen interest in history. We give scholarships to the Ph.D. students over there. We also form history clubs and emotional well-being clubs in various schools and colleges.
Fantastic.
And the same I would like to do in your industry, which is healthcare industry.
Sure, sure.
So this is what Quantum Group and Quantum aspects are all about.
So, any particular sector or any particular group of people you're doing the training, or it is across all levels in the industry or all industry?
So Quantum has 5 verticals.
Okay.
Okay, IT skills, behavioral skills, foreign languages, cross culture, and coaching.
Wow.
Okay, and this is across companies, across sectors, across group of people, because coaching can be individual, team coaching, it can be for business owners, it can be for anybody. Another thing that I find in entrepreneurs like us is a lot of self-limiting beliefs that the entrepreneurs have.
Okay.
Something like, I'm a small company, I cannot scale up to the extent that people talk about.
Yes.
Right? I always say that, businesses do not have limitations. It is the people who have limitations.
So true.
And people's limitations often become business limitations.
True.
So removing those self-limiting beliefs is one. Second thing, an entrepreneur is always lonely. He cannot openly share his problems with anybody, especially the emotional ones. As emotional problems in business are like, I don't have a healthy cash flow. How do I ensure that my team is really uptight and is in high spirits and are productive and delivering? Second could be, I have to take a tough decision, but I'm fearful because I might lose a client. And these are the fears that he cannot discuss it openly with his teams because there are limitations. He cannot talk to his family because they would simply say that close down the business and go on, take up a job. Or with his friends, who might simply say that, come on, you're making mountain hill out of a mole. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done at this level for entrepreneurs.
Just to understand, how this impacts a company or impacts the results in a company, can you quote 1 or 2 examples of the project you did with few companies or few group of people, and how it impacted the company both in terms of productivity, in terms of change of culture, something which comes up your mind, the top 3 examples which you would like to share with us?
Okay. because these are live examples that I would like to put across. There's a company which was in the growth space. Okay, a growing company is always owner driven. Okay, from owner driven to a structured company, there is a big movement, and that has to happen at a behavioral level of the founders. Okay, and I found in one of these companies who are my clients that the founders were very insecure. Okay, of delegating it to their teams, or it's like taking the teams into confidence, investing in them. They always felt that they might lose the control of the business.
And that's how a coterie is formed around
Right.
them.
All the yes sir guys or yes ma'am guys are around that. And this is where it all started deteriorating, because people did not see growth, people did not feel appreciated or trusted, and there was a high turnout. And they would simply say that one of the biggest bottlenecks in the business is this turnover. Okay, this company is a very renowned company. I wouldn't want to name them for NDA reasons. So I started coaching the founders. We worked on the business strategy. We worked on a project where the cultural transformation was at its core.
Okay.
We said that employees need to be treated as stakeholders in the business. And the kind of conversations that happen at the workplace have to be more consultative and coaching driven than dishing out the orders.
Absolutely.
Or simply one way communications. Initially it was a tough journey. When we started, the attrition rate was close to 30%. Mind you, the industry standards are 9%. That's two at the highest level. So there was a lot of cost in terms of recruiting, training new people, etc. We made those fundamental changes in the culture.
Fantastic.
Okay, where the owners would sync up with each employee over a cup of coffee or a chai, and that would happen outside the premises. Make them open up, have some team meetings, etc. Be open about what they want to achieve. Get their vision, mission, values across the board.
Organization.
And across the organization, even till the last person in the hierarchy.
Very important.
And then the entire one team effect would scale up.
Yes.
As a result, after 2 years, from 30%, as on today, that the attrition rate is at 7.5%.
It's a phenomenal.
It's a phenomenal growth. The company has grown 3x, all right, from the original revenues, because everybody feels that the part of it.
Right.
I always say that people join organizations, but they leave managers.
Managers, so true.
The sense of belonging to the organization is still very much there, provided they say that I'm leaving because I didn't get the right boss to learn under.
Absolutely.
And this is one example how we say that emotional intelligence or emotions do not work in business. I say everything in business is about emotions.
Everything is emotion.
Everything is an emotion.
I totally, agree with you. So if I have to ask you, what are the top 3 USPs of your organization? Because there are many people in the training space.
Right.
And I'm sure you have, carved out your USP in that space. So if I ask you, what are the top 1 or 3, USPs of Quantum, what will you say?
Okay. The lowest failure rate of our training programs.
Wow.
The industry accepted norm is around 3 to 3.5%. Quantum has 0.08%. So the training feedbacks or the training effect is something which is very high, and which is like, the lowest rate is because we are into diagnostic mode.
Okay.
We are not into catalog driven mode.
Okay.
Where you say that these are my training programs, choose one. Second is very high level of customization.
Okay.
For example, What would work for a healthcare company may not work for a bank
So true.
or may not work for an FMCG. So understand their pain points and make it highly customized for this. Okay. Third, and most importantly, training skills are sustainable. Otherwise, I always say that training is like a perfume. You apply it and after some time the fragrance is gone.
Goes away.
Right? Unless those are transferable skills and seen into the performance, the hand holding, the return on investment will not be felt by the owners who are investing into it.
Becomes superficial otherwise.
Becomes pretty superficial.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons why I focused in my first doctorate on training need assessment and linked it with ROI. The deeper that you go in the assessment, the better and more effective the training program becomes.
So I'll tell you a little bit of my thoughts on this. Many years in my career I have spent in sales and marketing. Like last week also I gave a sales and marketing talk. And I asked them what is the objective of the sales and sales training. So it's very clear the objective of the sales training is there is a story to it, just a 30-second story.
Of course.
That one person comes out of say maybe quantum training and they ask him, what do you expect of this training? He says, I will tell you a story that I go out of my training and I tell the rickshaw guy, take me. So the rickshaw guy still asks me, where do you want to go? And this person who has just come out of the quantum training, he says, you take me anywhere, I've got customers everywhere.
Wow.
That's the impact of training. That, that person is now able to take up any challenge, any type of customer. So in this entire training, Pratik, have you found a common thread? I will just push you into emotional, intelligence, another topic which I want to draw a lot of, thoughts from you. Did you find a common thread in all this training where emotional aspect of the management was missing, and when you worked on that, you found the results were different?
Very much. On a lighter note, Mohan, the common thread in almost every training program is the nice food that you arrange.
That you can see on my stomach and your stomach also. Yeah.
So, other than that, the way these training as a function that is managed or used to get managed was people were sent for trainings for 3 reasons in the companies.
Okay.
One, they are sitting free. B, the budget need to be exhausted. And C, they always felt that these people are not good at a particular skill. Okay. We worked very close with one of the pharmacovigilance companies.
Okay.
Okay, in India and Philippines.
Okay.
Across their offices. And now we are going to work with them in US and Romania also. Okay. That's where their presence is. The whole function was like, here the training ends, but then what's the next step? Are you going to skill them up to the next level?
Absolutely. In Marathi, they say, Dhavi nantar kai.
Dhavi nantar kai.
Baravi nantar kai. So that is, I think, that should be the next question in every training. Like, after this training, what?
What? So, these 3 reasons have to be kept out.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from this, work on what are the changes that you want to see in the people. The learning objectives, we call it. So, in this particular company that we are talking about, these are people where, they were call center agents, and they were data analysts, and they were various pharmacovigilance conducts a lot of audit, pharma related data, patients related data, etc. Their audit functions, etc. So there we found that there is no roadmap of training in front of these people. The trainings were done only as a remedial aspect, not as a developmental aspect.
Got it.
So it's like, I feel that my people lack communication skills. They lack cross-cultural understanding between Philippines, India and US, or they lack in a particular domain. So I send them for a training program.
More reactive than proactive.
More reactive. Absolutely, you said it. So we said that let us make a roadmap. A, what are the person's existing competencies, where he stands in each of those skills. B, what are organizational expectations that you have. And C, what are his core strengths. Around that, we made a behavioral competency framework.
Fantastic.
And we realized that a lot of these things were purely emotional in nature.
So you have any tools to do this, or you have designed your own tools?
So there are tools which are available. We make use of them.
Fantastic.
And we have selected the tools which are tried across geographies, across age groups, across industries, across genders.
So is there any particular pedagogue which you have adopted to, because this is a very difficult topic to understand, to teach. Is there any particular pedagogue which you have adapted to teach or to train people in emotional, intelligence?
First and foremost, we have a very basic test called EQ, preliminary EQ test. That is on our website called qicpl.com or quantumtrainings.com. On both the websites,
so anybody can access that.
Anybody
and go
can
through
access. That, absolutely.
And after they access and they do that,
then
test,
there
they
is
can.
self-awareness.
Okay, fine.
So 70% of emotional intelligence is about self-awareness, and 30% is about others.
True. So true.
70% is about knowing the emotion. 30% is about
Managing those emotions.
And
So
when
it starts with knowing, only then you can manage.
Absolutely.
So true.
You feel that the boss is angry, but the anger could have been a result of anxiety, fear, irritation put together.
Or fight with his wife.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Right. Resentment. It could be anything.
Yes.
You really don't know. Or even the traffic jam that he was stuck in while coming to the office.
Yeah, so common, yeah.
So common, right? You really don't know. And one has to be really, really understanding. In case of this pharmacovigilance company, I saw that because of the cultural differences, some people were not very assertive.
Okay.
And on the contrary, others were assertive. So the people who were non-assertive used to feel that the people who are assertive are rude or curt. And the people who are assertive and would always say that these people do not speak straight and they are not credible and cannot be trusted.
Absolutely. So I was having an interaction with one of my old friend who has now got into training, and he told me that Mohan, with all this merger and acquisition,
Right.
companies are facing a lot of issue, and he told me something which has now become part of my vocabulary also when I talk about merger and acquisitions, is that when companies get together, there is a lot of integration which takes place.
Correct.
Integration takes place, means you become a part of that company, new company, but does the alignment take place? Because they are, different cultures, different habits, different disciplines, different bosses. So don't you think that this emotional, training, intelligence training and all these things will foster a better culture, especially in this type of organization? What is your thought on that?
Very much. In fact, we have an example where it has happened.
Okay.
Okay, there's a Japan-based company who had acquired one India company.
Okay.
Okay. And their Indian headquarters was in Gurgaon.
Okay.
But their biggest plant is in Pune that they acquired another company for. Okay. Now imagine the kind of cultures that we are talking about. One, extremely aggressive.
Yes.
Second, very subdued. And the third, very implicit, indirect, but very perfectionist.
Perfectionist. Japanese are known for that. Yeah.
Right? Now, all these three levels, there were a lot of conflicts. Okay?
Can imagine.
And one set of people would simply say that, hey, we acquired you. They said, you've acquired. All right. So now it's a merger. We have one unit together.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the time that we both realize that we both have to work together. And with all those frictions, a lot of, during mergers and acquisitions, there are a lot of due diligences which happen, like legal due diligence, financial due diligence, process due diligence. But there's no cultural due diligence.
Absolutely.
understand the work culture of the people where they are and from which place do they come, slowly integrate them, only then you will be able to align with them. And often mergers and acquisitions trigger various emotions like fear,
Yes.
insecurity,
True.
anxiety,
Yes.
irritation, outrage.
Yes. And that becomes a breeding place of politics, isn't it?
Absolutely. You said it. Not only breeding place of dirty politics, but also drifting away from the main goal of
Name of
merger.
the company, yeah.
Right? There was a goal or there was a purpose for which the merger happened or the acquisition happened.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's very important to understand and take the best out of it. Emotional intelligence helps you understanding the other person's emotions.
Fantastic.
Yours, empathy, self regulation, self motivation, and most importantly, are your interpersonal relationships. Every business strives on interpersonal relationships. The interpersonal relationship you have at your work, at your place,
Yeah.
with your customers, etc. There's a very famous quote by Peter Drucker which made me write my latest book called Culture Drives Strategy. Okay. Peter Drucker says, culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Breakfast. So true.
Okay. If people are not aligned culturally,
Yes.
no matter how good your processes are, no matter how robust your strategy is, okay, it's not going to be executed at the ground level.
So Pratik, right from the time I met you, I am charmed by your, passion to work in this space where many people have not, put their heads into. And when you had the juicier ones like the, communication skills and body language, what made you focus on this aspect of soft skills?
Because I've always felt that no matter how good you present yourself outside through better communication or presentation or anything else, no matter how good you present yourself, internally, if you're not happy, if you haven't worked on your core inner self, okay, you wouldn't be able to drive what is expected from those communication, presentation, or so on and so forth. Another thing that I would like to tell you, Mohan, is it all starts with emotions, ends at emotions. So, emotional intelligence is the base of everything,
Absolutely.
including the kind of communication that happens, including the kind of presentation skills that you deliver. So, this is an application skill which is applied in almost every aspect. Third thing, the amount of conflicts at workplace, okay, and is directly related with drop in productivity. That in turn is directly related with your profits.
So true.
So unless you kind of ensure that the grease is right, the machine is not going to function smooth. That made me choose this. And then that made me go for my doctorate, where my topic was the darker side of emotional intelligence.
Interesting.
Why people become manipulative.
So I also know that you have written good number of books.
Right.
And can you tell us what kind of books you have written and how many books and what are the topics?
Right. So book writing came to me by an accident. I used to write articles in newspapers. One of the publishers approached me back in 2007-8,
Okay.
said that why not we put all these articles into a form of a book and release them. That happened. The first book was titled as Cool Down Before You Burn Out.
Interesting.
Right. That's because I have seen a lot of burnout in big corporates.
Yes.
Miserable students who are preparing for their 10th and 12th exams, or engineering students. Everywhere there was a meltdown.
Yeah.
So about that, I had written the first book. The second one was when I was talking to a fellow trainer, and I was in Paris at her place, and she immediately came up with a particular statement saying that everywhere is, in the corporates, people feel that they have been juiced out like lemons. But the lemons have no juice in them anymore.
Dried up totally.
They're dried up because internally there's hardly a fuel in it.
True.
So that's where I wrote the second one, great ideas that will keep you stress free and relaxed at work.
Very good.
Third book happened when there was a famous movie called Lage Raho Munna Bhai came in.
Yeah.
Gandhi always fascinated me. I started thinking of Gandhi as a business leader.
Interesting.
Now, the kind of conflicts that happen at the workplace are very similar to what he had dealt with the British Empire,
Yeah.
both in South Africa as well as in India. And, had he been an HR manager, how would he resolve it?
Very interesting.
So, his principles from the corporate point of view, including his trusteeship theory, which talks about, corporate governance principles in the modern business, or corporate social responsibility, we call it. We glorify them, and we've changed the nomenclature. But by and large, they are very relevant. Okay, so that made me write my third
So
one.
that makes two of us actually. I am also inspired by many of his skills as a leader. So there are a lot of people in our life we come across who we have seen them as a freedom fighter or a Ram as a spiritual person, but the leadership skills we can pick up from them. So I am reminded of incidents of Mahatma Gandhi where his communication skills were so good. So there was a famine, and they collected a lot of blankets and food, and but a lot of amount of money was collected on a call of Mahatma Gandhi that we have to support. So one person, everywhere you have some people who would like to take the credit. So he came and said, I would like to take the credit for all the food grains, blankets and everything which has come for this, initiative. So Mahatma Gandhi spontaneously tells him, you take all the credit, give me all the cash.
Wow.
So that kind of, communication, being witty, but at the same time making your point, you can learn from many of these, leaders, whether it is
Correct.
spiritual, whether it is, freedom fighters or industry
Absolutely.
or Bollywood or whatever. Good. This is a very interesting book. I'm sure you will give me a copy of that book, or
You
I can buy
already
it from
have.
outside. Yeah, I have one, but I
Right.
want to have one more because I have gifted it to somebody.
Definitely. Definitely. It's on the
Sure.
way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then came in the fourth book, which is after my doctorate in
Okay.
emotional intelligence, I did, called Mastering Emotional Intelligence.
Master emotional intelligence. Okay.
Fifth one came in, which says Navigating Through Emotions,
Okay.
the jungle. The one where, we launched it in your presence,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
You remember
In
that?
one of the cafe meetings.
Right. And the sixth one, which is the latest one, is Culture Drives Strategy.
Absolutely.
And that was, the trigger point was the quote from Peter Drucker.
Peter Drucker. Yes.
That's where it is. So, writing has been a hobby.
Uh-huh.
One of those hobbies which have still tested the time. Okay.
Okay.
Apart from trekking. And this year, I plan to go on a bike trip to Ladakh.
Okay.
So,
So
various-
Emotionally Yours by Pratik, I found in the YouTube and multiple places that it's quite a popular program now. And mine was the 5th episode. So how many episodes you have gone, to what level, and what kind of people have you interviewed in this 25 or plus, I was told, you
Right.
have done programs. Yeah.
So, it all started with this mission 1 million, where we talk about 1 million emotionally literate people. I realized that digital channels have a farther more reach,
Yeah.
as compared to the awareness sessions. And when people listen to the journeys, the inspiring journeys of people from different walks of life,
Uh-huh.
okay, there was a Supreme Court advocate, there is a political activist, there is a singer, there is a movie actor, there are
School principal.
school principals, there are people from various walks of life.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, each one have traversed through their emotional journey, including yours.
Yes.
Right. So I was fortunate enough that you all people have been on the show, have shared your stories, your opinions, your talks, etc. And today we have more than 30,000 subscribers. around 180,000 views, and quite a bit of thing within a year, a little more than a year that we have been in. So, this tells me that people definitely would like to understand how emotions work
Yeah.
and what would be the impact of it.
Right.
So it's growing, and it would be further enriched by people like you who come on the guest. Today I'm on a different seat though.
Yeah. I put you on the mat.
Yeah, it was like, देखो अभी वहाँ जाकर कैसा लगता है.
Yeah, very interesting. The last few questions
Sure.
we conclude, Pratik, is that what's your future plan? How will you scale it up, or are you getting into different other modalities to fulfill that mission you have?
Right. So one is
Of course, the awareness sessions. I'm still the old school where
in-person talks,
that's
and
the best way.
right. So I always go out and for various forums I have delivered these sessions. One of them was for ICAI, Chartered Accountants.
Okay.
Another one that we did for a group of women entrepreneurs. Okay, a foundation that works for women entrepreneurs. So for them I had, and that was one of the rare experiences where women were listening to me. On a lighter note, right? Apart from that, various schools, colleges, their staff members. That's where we are making an impact. Second is police force. Okay, I had done some sessions for Maharashtra police. I would like to reach out to the jail authorities, etc., where these sessions are arranged for them. The armed forces. We're doing an interesting project for some of the wings of armed forces, where emotional intelligence in various situations, especially more relevant for the armed forces, okay, are taken up. So I'm glad that our proposals have been accepted, and now it's part of the main curriculum of the Armed Forces College.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So through that, again, these are the people who are facing the line of fire for us. This is the least as a society we can really give back. Healthcare workers, I would like to do it for sure, and everywhere in corporates. Okay, I always say that listen to your emotions.
Yeah.
They would drive your relationships, which would drive the processes that would drive the results that you want.
Fantastic.
So that's it.
So as long as mankind is there, I think this is one attribute or a skill which has to be there in every human being for living peaceful and happy. And to take an example or leaf out of the healthcare is that today every generation or any person who's born needs an inoculation or a vaccine for polio and multiple things. I feel people like you are the people who should give that inoculation and vaccine on emotion. And you have a job, of not only doing it when you're alive, but leaving a legacy of multiple people doing it for years together, because it is going to be needed
Absolutely.
as long as mankind is there. So I congratulate you for your wonderful effort, and I really मैं कोनी से आपको नमन करता हूँ कि आप जैसे लोग हैं करके इतने अच्छा एक प्रकल्प लेके आप लोगों के दिल में you're creating such a good skill which is so essential, whether it is at home, whether it is work, whether it is on the street. So I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors, and I'll be too happy to get associated with you. As I told you, you have already charmed me into this, and I would like to get associated with whatever way it is possible. I will tell you, I was very fortunate to have the blessings of Mother Teresa in one of the programs.
Right.
And she told, when somebody asked her, what is the biggest disease in the world today? And everybody expected she would say leprosy, because that is the kind of patient she was handling. But she said the biggest disease in the world today is the feeling of not being wanted.
Oh.
So it directly is a correlation to the emotional aspect of a human being. So if can make people emotionally strong, that will make a huge impact on the society. And who can do it better than India or Pratik here? Because we have, gurus like Gautam Buddha, Mahavir, and so many people who have taught us how to become emotionally strong and, face the world.
Yes.
So I'm sure you will get into league of all those people in your own way.
You've put
and
me
wish-
on a pedestal. Okay, I'm just doing whatever small thing that
and
I
wish
could.
you all the best. And as I said, wherever you find me useful, please, I am just a call away.
Definitely, Mohan. And I always have that kind of inclination that we all collectively
Correct.
can do things that would really matter. big time.
Absolutely. So
Thank
very
you.
soon we should reach the 7 billion population. Because this is
Inshallah.
a basic need as food, clothing and shelter.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you.